All right, welcome back. Special Bayou Time. Meet the candidates. And we now have Roy Chauvin in our studio, and he's decided to run for parish president. So, Roy, first of all, thank you for running. I'd like to thank everybody for running because it's not an easy task to put your name up to run for parish president.
Yeah, it takes a lot of thought,
Yeah.
a lot of thought, conscientiousness.
Got to talk to people around you and say, is it okay? And this and
No, I
that.
didn't do that. I didn't do that. They complained so much that I said, I'm going to do it. I said, I'm tired of hearing y'all complain. Somebody needs to take the bull by the horn, so
All
I'm
right.
going to try.
With that said, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know a lot of people know you already, but for those who don't know you, who's Roy Chauvin?
Well, I'm 73 years old, good physical health. All I take is heartburn due to good Cajun food, heartburn pill every now and then. And I'm married to Sally Benoit, who is a super cook. We've been married for 53 years. She's my childhood sweetheart, literally, because she said that she would marry me at 4 years old. She told my mother that. So I didn't have a chance, man. So, as everybody knows, I worked for the Wildlife and Fisheries for 27 years. So it's kind of unusual for me to be a candidate because all my life I spent running from the politicians. Now I'm running with them. Go figure. So I also, the side of the people that don't know me, the side of the people that know me are from Wildlife and Fisheries. And that is how I did that job defines my character. And if someone is interested in knowing me personally, way deep down that don't know me, they need to look at that first book that I wrote about my career with Wildlife and Fisheries. I fought politics and everything for years and years and years. And you win some, you lose some, but I remained constant. I kept on, and kept on. And I did change a few things, and you can't give up. My dad said you can give out, but don't give up.
Right.
So, and also the other side of me that most people don't know, and this is difficult for me because I'm not used to blowing my own horn. I went to Vanderbilt. I graduated with honors. I played baseball at Vanderbilt, and through that I earned a scholarship to Nichols. I was an honor student with highest honors at Nichols. Won every award there's to just about win at Nichols, and which is something that I'm proud of, but I see that it's maybe not be a prerequisite to what I'm doing now. Maybe so. Education rounds you out. So I'm also, which I don't ever talk about, is my wife and I's 40-year career with foster children. We have 5 adopted children, and 4 of them are card-carrying Houma Indians. We adopted the whole family. We went through we had 25 children in 40 years. We still have a foster child that is 39 years old. He came to us at 12 years old because Sister Rosario sued the state for him and said, Roy, you take him. You and Sally take him. So we wound up with this foster child who's still in our life. So we're still doing foster care work. And that's something that I don't ever talk about, but it is something that's important. The reason why is because the 2 things that I did in life, foster care and my wildlife job, were not a career. I take on causes and crusades as a vocation. I put everything I got in it, everything, my heart, my soul. I try to do the right thing. And it does make it difficult for me individually. Sometimes, you think you're doing the right thing, and sometimes you get pushed down, but you got to get up. Character is defined by how you get up.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So as parish president, you would have to each year submit to the state a capital outlay plan, priorities for the parish of Terrebonne, these priorities 1 through 5 or whatever. What would your capital outlay list look like?
You'd have to listen to the public, and you can't. I believe that politics is just too much rhetoric. There's politically correct, so to speak. I'm not politically correct. Say what you mean. Don't just say it because it's politically correct. Say it. A lot of things, like with the parish, you're going to have to learn as you're on the job. I don't think anybody's qualified to do the job right now, the ones that are running. No, none of us. It's going to be a day-to-day job. You got to surround yourself by good people who know their field in preparing budgets and things in capital outlay. Oh, I can sit here and tell you, yeah, I'm going to develop 100,000 jobs. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You know, we're going to be living on the top of a mountain. We're not going to flood ever again. That's not realistic. You know, and the people are fed up with being told these pie in the sky dreams at this time of the year when it's election time. So, and I believe that you just have to face it, confront it, and do the best you can and be totally, now this is a politically correct answer, transparent. You've got to tell the people if you can or you can't do it. Mm-hmm. Don't tell them you're going to do something and then you don't do it. You know, that's horrible. You know, that's, poor people don't, you know, they have a grim outlook on politicians, you know, in general, the public in general, this day and age, that they're corrupt and dishonest. Well, they might be right in some respect, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm not planning on taking any money, you know. All the ones who want to give me money, some poor old lady wanted to give me $1 the other day, and I mean, she was sincere, but so I decided I'm not going to take any money. Now, is this the right thing? I was told there ain't no way in hell Roy Chauvin going to win the election if he don't take $1. What's that $1 for? What I'm going to do with it? Go buy a sign?
You using the old Jerry Larpin the playbook. Don't take any money to run for. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back for Parish President candidate Roy Chauvin. Don't go away.
The new generation of Hondas are here at Barker Honda.
The all-new Accord, head of its class, miles ahead.
All new 2023 HRV and CRV.
And Pilot, built for every driving need. Family favorite Odyssey has all new trim levels.
Go everywhere with Passport. And the award-winning Civic.
The generation for every generation. And always remember, it's better at Barker.
At South Louisiana Bank, we're great at banking, but we're great at a lot of other stuff too.
Is that a new rod and reel?
Hey, a girl's got a fish.
We care about the community we live in and the people we serve. We're not just like you. We are you.
Are you boiling crawfish?
No, just letting them soak.
We're proud to be here and work for the place and the people we love. South Louisiana Bank. It's in the name.
Terrebonne General Health System is the largest healthcare resource in Southeast Louisiana, offering a high-tech and high-touch style of healing. World-renowned services include cardiology, women's health, cancer care, and a healthy lifestyle center.
This is a true calling for all the physicians, nurses, and staff who make up our proud Terrebonne General family. We are here to provide healthcare for our community.
To discover more, please visit tghealthsystem.com.
Don't give up. At Waits & Downer Law Firm, we want to make sure that you have all the facts when dealing with your insurance company. We have the legal experience and ability to make them pay. Get the help you need. At Waits & Downer, it's our goal to not only get you a full damage recovery, but to get the insurance company to reimburse your legal fees. Call today for a free consultation. We are local and we are here to stay. Let our years of experience work for you.
Welcome back. We're with Parish President candidate Roy Chauvin. And Roy, first of all, as you know, when you get into politics, let's call it for what it is. It's politics. It always ends up in politics. But whether you like Mr. Dove or you don't like him, I think all would have to agree that the levees, the pump stations, the water control structures have moved at an unprecedented pace in Terrebonne Parish. We have things that no one ever dreamed we'd probably have. He's been relentless on these things. But as parish president, you may have the same plan or a different plan or see different visions. What would your visions be with the levees, water control structures, and include the barrier islands in that too, former wildlife and fisheries agent?
Yeah, I kind of went with the barrier islands years ago, and they were trying all kind of different things, but it was always a cosmetic approach with the barrier. It's too late for the barrier island. They're gone. I don't think you can rebuild a barrier island. And as someone told me yesterday, he said the Gulf, the levee around the parish is going to be the Gulf. And what you have to do is to ensure, I believe it's a Category 3 storm. I look at the levee and it's not that high, but I know there's restrictions and things, Corps of Engineers, all kind of people telling us what to do, but what's going to happen there, it's going to have to be a continual thing, a continual movement. You're going to have to continually work on the levees, continually work on everything. And each storm will tell you what you have to do. You might not be able to do it, but it tells you something. It'll give you an indication what you need to do.
Yeah. Let's talk about oil and gas in our area. And I want every candidate to talk about it because it's such the lifeline of our community. Oil and gas has kept us really rolling for a long time. But there's a lot of oil and gas companies that are saying, we don't want to stay in Terrebonne Parish. We want to move out. We don't like the posture of some people or doing different things or scenarios. What would you do to woo them, or would you agree they're the lifeline of Terrebonne Parish, or what would your administration look like with oil and gas?
Well, you'd have to ask them what's wrong. What's the problem? Taxation? What is the problem? You got to know what the problem is before you can fix it. And the oil and gas industry is not just a local problem. It's a federal problem as well. And people that are going to say, oh, we're going to get all the oil and gas back in here. I mean, we've raped this area for years and years over the oil and gas. I'm sure it's out there, but the problem is, how do you approach it from this point? Do you promise jobs? How do you get jobs from the oil and gas? I think the federal government is the one, and I know that's a cliche maybe, but the federal government is the one that has been our stumbling block, by blocking leases and all. So, but you don't want to use that as a fall. You want to say, okay, what can we do? What can the people do? There may be nothing you can do, but there may be a lot you can do, and you won't know until you get in there and find out what the problems are, and try to soothe over the problems with anybody, if it's fair and honest.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about planning and zoning, which is a big part of a parish president's job. There's different ways to do planning and zoning. You could contract it out. You can do it in-house, like Mr. Dove's been doing. They look at the plans. They give the permits, they issue the permits, they decide the fees on the permit, or you could bring it out to, in the past, they've had South Central planning, different things. What would you do?
I think we permitted to death, to be honest with you. The contractors complain now that there's so many permits. I just built a house and he said he had to go through 47 different permits, 47 different procedures to get the permits. Now, I know it's all for hurricane protection and things like that, and it's good. It's good, but it may need to be streamlined somewhat so it's not so burdensome to the industry itself. I mean, we're looking for industry. That's one that we need to keep. Anything that we do in this parish, planning-wise or whatever, it needs to be in the parish. My dad was a contractor, and he used to cringe when he'd see somebody from out of town doing a big job in town. He just didn't like it. And I think if you're going to start, we do it there. That's where you got to start. Keep everything in the parish, whether you do it through a planning commission or in-house, like you say. In-house may be a little bit more political than hiring somebody outside, but then you got to hire somebody outside that's here that you want to get that would understand the problems as well. And then maybe you can hire and fire those people. It's very difficult to hire and fire inside your own people.
Yeah, let's jump to, we all know about insurance. We all know that a lot of people are leaving because of insurance, not just oil and gas people. Residents are leaving because they cannot afford the premiums anymore, especially after Ida. I know you were relentless as a wildlife and fisheries guy. What would you do as parish president to go make sure Baton Rouge is hearing you?
Oh, Baton Rouge is going to hear me. I can promise you that. They might even hear me from here. I don't know, without a microphone. They don't want to hear from me. I'm not sure what I do with insurance. I just did a statistic I saw a statistic where we lost 5,000 residents between 2020 and after Ida. We lost 5,000 people that were residents. It went from 109 to 104,000 people. And that, we have to stop that, and insurance is a conglomerate of people. It's an evil almost that you have to have. You got to have it. People can't build a house unless they have insurance to get a loan. And so it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. And you don't want to court these people, but you got to live according to what their rules are. And the insurance commissioner, that's the one probably that you got to jump on pretty much, get on the bandwagon and put it on him.
There'll be a new one. There'll be a new one.
Well, I'm sure there will be, because we can't take the heat.
All right, so let's do this. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with our final segment with the candidate for parish president, Roy Chauvin. So don't go away.
A.J. Doman Chevrolet is happy to announce that we're South Louisiana's newest Car Bravo dealer. Now you can buy any used car or truck with the confidence of a certified warranty and over 4,000 dealers to back it up. Not finding what you're looking for? Car Bravo offers up to an additional 500 units available online.
Visit us on the web at ajdomanchevy.com or at the foot of the Morgan City Bridge in Berwick.
Selecting an insurance provider for your business is a big decision.
With over 26 years of experience, our Offered team is your solution for quality and proven coverage.
The customer service you remember from years ago is what we pride our team on.
We know how important your company is to the community.
From small businesses to large businesses, Alford & Associates can manage your insurance. It's our job.
Alford & Associates, benefiting your employees and protecting your business.
Structural heart disease refers to a defect in the heart's valves, walls, or chambers that keeps the heart from pumping blood properly. Valve or structural heart problems may be present at birth or develop over time. Your risk increases if you have high blood pressure, plaque buildup, history of heart attack, take certain medications, or have certain heart infections. The Structural Heart Program at CIS and Terrebonne General provides innovative solutions and devices with the latest technology to bring the best possible outcomes for patients. Learn more at cardio.com.
Here in South Louisiana, we know how important it is to protect our families.
When one of our neighbors is injured because of someone else's neglect, our team is compelled to use our experience, skills, and knowledge to seek justice and hold wrongdoers accountable. If you've been injured and want to know your rights, call St. Martin and Bourke today.
Welcome back. Our final segment with Roy Chauvin, who's a candidate for parish president in Terrebonne Parish. All right, let's talk about street maintenance. Currently, President Dove has 3 crews out changing panels, changing curbs, changing asphalt. A lot of people get state and local roads confused.
That's exactly right.
So he takes a lot of heat for state roads that are not even his, but nonetheless, constant maintenance of local roads. What would your plan look like, or is that another plan you'd have to wait till you get in to see? Or you've lived around here a long time.
Personally, I see a lot of waste myself. I've done a few things. We need to make sure that the money is spent correctly on the roads and all, and not have 4 or 5 guys standing up out there holding a shovel. You know, I hate to say that, but that's the truth. And I've seen it myself. People see that and they say, what's the deal, man? That's our parish money being spent. But that's in order to assure in the next election that you're going to get elected, maybe, or something. You hire people, you know, it's a give and take, you know, thing. But I think the money needs to be spent properly. One guy in particular I talked to the other day, and he said, I want to be chairman of the roads, man. I said, you don't know what you're talking about.
And it's different from a local to a state. A local, I think, when they contract it out, the contractor hires his own employee. On the state employees, so it's a little different.
Right,
scenario.
it's like the bridge at Berg. That's the big downfall, it seems like. A 2-year bridge that's now 4 years. You know, a lift bridge that shouldn't be probably a lift bridge, should be something else. For I believe 3 boats pass through there every year that they documented. Oh man, that's a waste of money, you know? I mean, what you gonna do about that?
So, and that's a state.
Yes,
Bridge,
that's
so
the
as
state.
parish president.
But it's holding up the parish.
Right.
Everybody got to go around, and they all upset
So is that
about it.
one of those issues that, as Parish President Roy Chauvin be saying, listen, Governor, you're killing me on this bridge.
Well, yeah, come stand on this side of the bridge, and I will holler at you from the other side, or send you a 2x6 long enough to get across. I don't know.
Right. Let's talk about recreation, because recreation,
I like recreation.
Recreation's been a big issue. God, we've had so many debates on HTV about recreation. I can't remember who was for what anymore, but I do know that it was big in the news for a while. What's your thoughts on recreation?
There's nothing. I was an athlete all my life. I played ball from 7 years old to my senior year in college, and there is nothing more wholesome than that, other than hunting and fishing. It develops character in the individual. It develops so you have to push it. You know, you have to push for better facilities. The facility out there on Low Black is a great facility. It needs to be enlarged a little bit. I think we ought to have a facility maybe where baseball, the state baseball tournaments for high schools could play there, or whatever. You know, maybe look into getting a little semi-pro, a Class A team here or something. Alexandria has a Class A team. You know, to give the people something more along those lines, and that's a continual development. Now, I've been told that some of the funds have been used different ways, and again, the people in Berg, I don't know why, I have a little clientele group in Berg, they said a lot of the funds that they were supposed to get over there, they have a park that doesn't get anything, and it was all sent to Bayou Blue, and it was split between, I'm not sure if this is true, but it was split between Lafourche and Terrebonne. And, you know, I mean, how can you do that and satisfy the people? Now, you can't satisfy the people all the time, you know, but you can satisfy them sometime if you give them a little bit, you know.
What would a Roy Chauvin administration be? Who would be some of the people you'd rely on for advice? I mean, some people don't have a preconceived thought process on who they're going to hire because they wait till they get in. But have you thought about anybody you'd bring in? Or who would be some advisors?
God. I think God has been my greatest advisor in all of this. When I got down and out with my job as a wildlife agent, I always went back to my faith in God. I really did. And this is why I believe that this is another calling for me. Even though I'm old, everybody says, oh man, you're old. Why you want to do that? You've been retired 20 years, man. It's because it's like a calling. It's a vocation. I still have some good in me. I still have the same desire to do right and to do what's fair and honest as I did when I was 24 years old. So watch out. You know, I mean, I might not be the politically correct person. I might come off as egotistical, but we don't have time for all of this. You know, people have to, when things need to be done, they need to be done now, and they need to be done correctly. They need to be done ethically without as little politics as possible. I'm only going to run for one term. I'm not running again. So I can, if elected, I can decide exactly how I want to do it. Now, I do know that in the government, since I don't know anything about it, that you have to surround yourself with good, reliable, honest people. I got to find those. You know, I don't know if they're in position at this time. They may be. You know, you may not change much, but you're going to have to see for yourself. And since it's your responsibility, you can't relegate that responsibility to anybody else. It's your responsibility. Don't shirk your responsibility.
Yeah, so the process, once you get in, you would oversee everything and make decisions from that.
Yeah, you couldn't micromanage, but you'd micromanage the managers, because you'd have to do that. You know, you'd have to make sure that they did their jobs properly, and you got to satisfy the public. That's what you got to do as any elected official. You have to satisfy. Sometimes it's difficult.
Roy, we appreciate you.
One last thing,
ahead.
Martin.
Go ahead.
I want to challenge everybody to a debate at any time, any forum. Maybe it might be here. I don't know, but I'd like to challenge everybody, all the candidates. in an open debate.
We are planning a roundtable debate where everybody sits at the same table.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
And we talk about issues. We keep it clean, but we talk about good issues in the parish.
Yeah, like I told a guy before, I said, I'm not running against you, partner. I'm running with you for the parish.
But there'll be disagreements, but keep them cordial.
Yeah.
Keep them online, Roy, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And as always, we appreciate our audience for joining us. Roy Chauvin, once again, candidate for parish president.